morning. Well, it's morning when I am doing this right now. Yoga live stream, calming yoga today from the outside. If you follow me on social media, you know that I'm obsessed right now with my deck, but I'm a little worried right now because I'm hoping nothing flies near me and then I'll just make a fool of myself. But you all know me by now. So let's go ahead and get started with this 30-minute practice of just peace and calm and just finding some stillness, whether it is at the end of the week for you or to start your weekend. Just taking a little me time right now. It's very, very important. It is absolutely crucial, and it just helps us just to stay in a better frame of mind. All right, let's get started. Whatever seated position feels good for us right now, just sitting up nice and tall. Any movements we feel that we need to make, we are welcome to do so. Yes. And let's go ahead and close our eyes. Hands can be in our lap with our palms facing up, or they can be on our knees with our palms facing up. And just take that nice deep breath and let it out. We'll take a couple of more of those deep breaths in and a deep breath out. As we take another deep breath in, let's think about relaxing the inside of our mouth, relaxing our tongue. Relaxing our teeth. If you were clenching, I just caught myself doing that for no reason. Find a little stillness wherever we are. Think about our spine being nice and long. Think about being rooted on this mat that is holding us up. Just a reminder that we are never alone. We always have support. We just tap into it. Paying a little more attention to our breath now, where every inhale is about 3 or 4 counts. Same with every exhale. Just finding this nice breath rhythm that's just going to set the tone for the rest of our practice, perhaps even the rest of our day. This nice calming rhythm of breath. We'll set our intention here. Whatever it is that we need a little more of in our life or a little less of. Just letting that thought gently float on into our mind and let it float on out. We remember that in our yoga practice, it's okay if our mind wanders to other places, not just the intention. We start thinking about what's next, or what we have to do, or who we need to get back in touch with, or whatever is on that list of things. It's okay to let our mind wander there. And when we're ready, we just come on back to our mat. We come on back to our breath. We come on back to this nice rhythm that we have going here. One more full breath here. Big breath in. And exhale, release. Let's open those eyes. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take the cleansing breath. Hands come all the way up toward the sky. And exhale, push away. Long fingers, long arms. Let's do it again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fall. We're gonna do a lot of work on our shoulders today and our neck, just because that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. And you guys just go along for the ride, right? But if you're like me and if you've been looking down a lot lately, looking at your phone or reading more, even that, when we had that head down, during this time, perhaps we don't really realize how much we are hunched over, how much our head weighs. Let's do just one more here. So today, we're gonna really show some love to those shoulders and the neck, and maybe even open up the chest a little bit. That's the last one. All right, so from here, let's bring our hands to our knees, just gently holding on, dropping our chin to the chest. So we're sitting up nice and tall, chest is proud, shoulders are back and down. Remember, it's not that extra arch, it's just this nice long spine, like the crown of our head is reaching up toward the sky. We'll drop our chin to the chest. Yes, just a couple of breaths here. So during this time of quarantine, I'd love to know what you guys are doing more of than you perhaps did before. I've been on social media a lot more. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. I know that I need to monitor myself a little bit better with that. Let's drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Oh, yes. Imagine there's some heavy books on that left shoulder, just weighing it down so you can feel the length in the side of the neck. I want to read more. I've started a new book, a book I've had for a while that I've started several times, but this time I'm gonna finish it. It's the 4 Agreements, and it's eye-opening. Gentle breath in. One more exhale. All right, let's bring that chin to the chest. And exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Remember, those shoulders are back and down, chest is proud, spine is long. We're gently holding on to our knees. Imagine those heavy books right there. My son picked up the book, The Room Where It Happened, so I'm going to read that after he's done. And that's like a 500-page book. But I'm going to do it. So even whether it's good or, well, I don't want to say bad, but whether it is working for you or not working for you, I'd love to know in the shout outs or on a Facebook message or on the newsfeed what you've been doing more of during this time. Let's bring our chin back to the chest and bring our eye gaze back on up to neutral. So we'll take a little flow here, just a little movement, chin to the chest with our breath. Inhale, exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, chin to the chest. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, chin to the chest. Just a couple more. We won't be here very long. Yes. Last one on each side. Take our time. Drop that chin back to the chest. Bring that eye gaze back up to neutral. Nice. All right, let's make our way to our knees. We are going to find some cat-cow poses just to get our spine nice and warmed up. I think our peak pose will be camel today, and different variations of that. It's a big chest opener, and it'll also be nice on the neck. So we have to work up to it though. Hands under the shoulders, knees under those hips. Take a gentle breath in. Exhale, round. Push away from the mat. And inhale, go ahead. Let the belly relax. Exhale, round. Just move with our own breath, our own pace. It's all good. It's a little overcast where I am today, which actually is perfect so that the sun is not baking down on us. I'm thinking about those of you that might be in the path of whatever the dust thing is that's coming. What is that? You know, if there is anything to remember during this time, and I've been really thinking about it a lot, we cannot control what's going on around us, right? But we can control how we respond. We can control what we do. We can control our feelings. We can control how we react. And that is a very powerful thing to remember. Let's do just one more here. And we'll exhale on a round. Yes. Hang out in that tabletop position. Walk those hands forward. Let's find our first downward dog. Walking the dog here, just stretching out those calves. Take our time, no rush. Letting that head be nice and heavy. Moving with breath. We inhale as one knee starts to bend, and then we exhale as we switch to the other side. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's go ahead. Drop our knees back down to the mat. Relax the tops of the feet. Find our first child's pose here. We remember that this is calming yoga. So our poses are all about being calm and chill and just those nice kind of morning stretches. Let's walk our hands over to one side. Those nice morning stretches, or even if you're doing this in the evening, it's a great, great practice to wind down to. So we don't have a lot of energizing flows or practice in our calming yoga, just in case you're new. As our hands are maybe over to our right side, let's think about dropping those hips to the left just to get this nice side stretch. And let's go ahead and walk our hands on over to the other side. I'm walking to my left side, letting my hips drop a little to the right. Oh, that's a nice one. Yes. Let those groans out, because I tell you, I'm going to let mine out. No trying to be quiet or trying to stifle any sounds. It's a release. Let it out. Let's walk our hands back to center, finding downward dog again. Walking the dog here. Yes, yes, yes. Speaking of releases, there was a practice a couple of weeks ago where I cried at the end of the class. But you know, that happens. A lot of people say sometimes at the end of yoga they cry. And it really is, we have to remember that it's okay to release, it's okay to let go. Let's do just one more here. Come on back down to tabletop. Couple more of our cat-cows. Remember, we're getting our back nice and warm, ready for that peak pose of camel later on. A lot of times during the final relaxation, during Shavasana, people tend, this has happened to me, and a lot of people I notice in class, people will cough a lot or they sneeze a lot. It's like all of a sudden it just starts coming. And again, those are releases. Those are things that your body's trying to get rid of because it's so calm and so relaxed, and just like the magic of yoga worked during the class. And it's like, hey, I got to get rid of this extra stuff that doesn't belong here. So if you're ever in my class and you start coughing a little bit, it's okay. Don't be alarmed. It's all right to let it out. Let's do just one more here. And we're gonna drop on down to that puppy dog stretch. Let's bring those arms all the way down. Reach nice and long. Knees right under the hips and just drop on down. Oh yeah. Feel that nice kind of chest expansion. You might feel like your shoulders are kind of pushed up against your ears a little bit. You can try to wiggle them back a little bit, but that's not really the focus. The focus here is just to kind of think about dropping that chest. We're gonna thread the needle here, so let's lift that left hand high, place it underneath the right arm. Yeah. Thread the needle. Palm is facing up. Remember those 3 and 4 counts on our inhales and exhales. Let that breath out. You think about dropping the left shoulder down. If this is my left hand, let's think about dropping that left shoulder down toward the mat. Gentle inhale. Let's go ahead. Wiggle that left arm out. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Taking a moment here before we hit that other side. Dropping down to puppy dog. Right hand lifts up high. I'm going to thread it underneath my left arm and drop my right shoulder down. Just a couple of breaths here. And let's go ahead, wiggle that right arm out. Woo, yes. Find that child's pose again. Gentle breath in. And let's go ahead, make our way back on up. All right, so from here, I'm gonna face you. Let's find ourselves on our knees. Just sitting up, nice and tall. If this is not comfortable for you, remember, you can always come to your bottom. That's always an option. Otherwise, we're just gonna hang out here for a few moments. Remember, we don't have that extra arch in our back. We think about that long spine where that pelvis is somewhat tilted forward and chest is proud. Excuse me. Palms facing up. There we go. Eyes are open, shoulders back and down. Let's think about energy coming right out from that head all the way into the sky. Let's take a look to the right side. Just take a look. A couple of breaths here. Really think about pulling those shoulders down away from the ears. And on our next inhale, we'll come back to center. And on an exhale, let's take it over to the left side. Just look over to your left. On our next inhale, we'll bring the chest, or bring the chin back to neutral. Nice. All right, so as we prepare for camel, let's come all the way up in our knees. Ooh, there it is. Yes. I'm going to show you, well, yeah, I'll show you from the side. Knees under those hips. They're about hip distance apart. Standing up nice and tall. Remember, we can double up our mat. We can put something underneath. We can stay right here, or if we'd like to go a little further, we bring our hands to our imaginary back pockets. We're not going to worry about throwing those elbows back. No, no, no. Just think about opening up the chest, and the elbows kind of go along for the ride. All right, slightly lift that chin, maybe put a little pressure on that lower back. Remember those imaginary back pockets. Think about reaching from the chest up. So we're not going back. We're reaching up and over. And if we'd like to go a little further, maybe lift that chin a little bit more. And if we want to go a little further, perhaps bring the hands, try to find those heels. Remember, up and over. Feel like they're a little far away from me. Oh, there they are. Yes. It's been a minute since I've done this. The goal is to have the hips still over the knees. Slight chin back. Slight, slight, slight. And before we come out, we bring our hands back to our lower back. Little pressure for stability. Ooh, yes. And then come on back. It's been a while since I've done that, so I didn't hold it very long. All right, let's send those hips back down. Find that child's pose. When we're in child's pose this time, bring the hands behind, almost like they're touching our feet, close to the feet, so we can really let those shoulders drape over the knees. Yes. I call this like a turtle child's pose. A turtle pose. There really might be a turtle pose, I don't know, but this reminds me of a turtle because it's a counter pose to camel. You want to find the most rounding you can do. We will return to cat-cow in just a moment, just to kind of ease off of our back a little bit. Let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders, gently push ourselves up. Knees are under the hips. Yes, and let's round. That's it. Just a couple rounds of cat-cow. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Let's do this last one right here. Really, really push on that round. Hanging out here. Still breathing, but just get a nice rounding of that spine, pulling that belly button in toward the spine. Yes. And then go ahead, relax. All right, we're gonna swing our feet around to the side, make our way all the way onto our back. Just a couple of bridge poses, that's all. And then we'll return to seated for our seated meditation. So let's bring our knees to our chest, rock a little bit side to side, hug it out. Bringing our feet down to the mat. Yes. All right, gentle breath in. We can just touch our heels with our fingertips and just walk them away about an inch or so. Knees and feet are about hip distance apart. And on our next exhale, let's lift those hips toward the sky. Yes. Couple of breaths here. Think about squeezing those glutes. On our next exhale, let's go ahead, lower everything back down. Ooh, yeah. All right, we'll do that just one more time. Gentle breath in. On our exhale, lift those hips. If you'd like to interlace your fingers underneath, you certainly can. Open up the chest a little bit. Pressing the pinkies into the mat. Gentle inhale. We'll release those hands, open up those shoulders, drop everything down. Bringing our knees into our chest, rocking a little bit side to side. Keeping that lower back on the mat. Remember, we did a lot of back stuff today. Camel pose is a big pose. It can be an intense pose. So we want to love on our back right now. All right. Ooh, yes. Let's go ahead, rock on up to seated. Sitting up nice and tall. Getting ready for our seated meditation. Yes. Hands are on the knees. Let's go ahead and roll those shoulders forward, back, and down. Just a couple of rounds. What a nice way to start the day. A nice way to end the day. Nice way to recharge in the middle of the day, whenever you're watching this. Let's do this last one right here. Yes. All right. Perhaps our hands are on our knees with our palms facing up, just sitting up nice and tall. Chest is proud, shoulders back and down. Soft smile to our face as we close our eyes. Remembering that as long as we have breath, we still have wonderful things left for us to do. And as long as we have breath, we still have wonderful things that are waiting just for us. Grateful that we have this technology to connect the way that we can. Grateful that we have support to hold us up when we need it. And grateful for this body who has gotten, well, grateful for this body who has just been there. Been there through a lot of times of trial, right? Checking in with ourselves throughout our day is the least thing that we can do to show these bodies that we have a little more love. Start to bring some awareness back just by wiggling our toes and fingers a little bit at a time. Making slight movements with our hands and feet.